My teacher made me stand in the corner for lying about my science project. She had no idea my dad was a NASA engineer. 4th grade science fair was supposed to be simple: baking soda, volcanoes, growing plants in different soils, maybe a magnet experiment if you were feeling ambitious. I decided to build a working model of a rocket engine because my dad had been explaining rocket propulsion to me since I could talk. At dinner, we discussed thrust-to-weight ratios like other families talked about their day. My project was a small-scale liquid fuel rocket with clear chambers so you could see the combustion process. Dad helped me design the safety features and supervise the construction, but all the research and presentation prep was mine. When I brought it to school on science fair day, my teacher, Mrs. Campbell, took one look and shook her head. "Samantha, this is way too advanced for a 4th grader. Did your parents do this for you?" "No, I built it myself. My dad just made sure it was safe." She examined my display board with all the diagrams and calculations. "Here is no way a 9-year-old understands rocket science. This is clearly adult work. Actually, rocket science isn't that complicated once you understand Newton's third law. For every action, here is an equal and opposite reaction. The exhaust pushes down, the rocket pushes up." Mrs. Campbell's expression got more skeptical. "Your parents made this, didn't they?" "My dad helped with safety, but I designed the fuel mixture ratios myself. I can explain how it works. I am sure you memorized what your father told you, but this level of engineering is impossible for someone your age." She moved my project to a separate table away from the official entries. "You'll need to redo this with an age-appropriate experiment." I was devastated. I'd spent weeks perfecting my fuel mixture and calculating the optimal chamber pressure. This rocket was my baby. "Can I at least demonstrate how it works?" "Absolutely not. I am not having dangerous explosives in my classroom." The other kids started gathering around to see what was happening. Mrs. Campbell announced to the class that my project was disqualified for parent involvement beyond the permitted guidelines. "Real scientists do their own work," she said, making sure everyone could hear. "We can't learn anything if our parents do our projects for us." "My best friend," Maya whispered. "But didn't your dad teach you all this stuff he teaches me?" "But I understand it." "Here's a difference," Mrs. Campbell overheard. "Understanding and doing are very different things. You may think you understand rocket science, but building this required adult expertise." That's when I snapped. "My dad didn't build this." "I did." Mrs. Campbell tried to stop me, but I was already dialing. "Dad, can you explain to my teacher that I actually built my rocket myself?" "Of course, sweetheart, put her on." I handed the phone to Mrs. Campbell. "My father wants to talk to you." She reluctantly took the phone. "No, this is Mrs. Campbell." I couldn't hear Dad's side of the conversation, but I watched Mrs. Campbell's face change from annoyed to confused to slightly pale. "I see," she said, "and your background is—" Oh my." She handed the phone back to me quickly. Dad was chuckling on the other end. "She still doesn't believe I built it myself. Want me to come in and explain the project to your class? I've got a break between meetings." 30 minutes later, Dad walked into our classroom, wearing his NASA badge and carrying a briefcase full of real rocket components. Mrs. Campbell looked like she'd seen a ghost. "Hi everyone, I am Dr. Rodriguez, Andrew Rodriguez. I work on propulsion systems for NASA's Mars mission program." The entire class went silent. Even the kids who never paid attention sat up straight. Samantha asked me to come explain her rocket project, since there seems to be some confusion about who built